family, here we go. We in the garage right now. And for all of those who's been following the series, you probably do recognize what this is. This is the 6-order bandpass enclosure that I built for my Skar Audio VVX12. As you guys can see, it is still unfinished. What I'm about to do now is I am about to go ahead and round these corners over. I still have hella sanding to do, as you guys can see. For all of the new guys who have not seen this, the video that I did on this previously, let me just flip it over for you guys so you can see the schematics on top of it. All right, there you go, guys, right there. These are the schematics of it. Basically, it's a double baffle right here, and the speaker actually is mounted within here and like this. And the magnet is actually facing inward to the 30 hertz chamber right here. What I'm thinking about doing is actually making this a 60 hertz chamber, because it does not hit the high notes as I wish that it would. It does the low notes very, very well, but the high notes to me it still suffer from. So I am trying to or debating retuning this chamber right here. But anyway, I just want you guys to see the schematics of it. The top is removable, so you guys will be seeing the internals of it later on. But for right now, I have some sanding and some routing to do. Okay, so for all of you guys who are wondering about what hardware I'm going to do, I'm going to use, this is a simple router that I got from Harbor Freight, believe it or not. This is called a, what is this? Drill Master? Drill Master. This is a 1/4 inch trimmer. And this is the round over bit that I'm going to be using on it. That is a 1/2 inch round over bit right there. And it does me pretty good. I've used it in other projects. My daughter has just gotten back with my drill. I'm going to be using to take these screws out and take the top off of the enclosure. Thank you, baby. So what I'm going to be doing now is skipping to that part. Yeah, this is the drill that I'll be using right here. This is the I've been had this drill for about 3 or 4 years now. This is the Black & Decker Matrix, and pretty much what it does, it has these detachable heads on it. I think it has like a router head that goes to it. You push this button right here and it comes off. They have a router head. They actually have, of course, this is the drill head. Adjustable drill head. This has actually got a nice little chuck on it that I use a whole lot. Little chuck got its different variable strengths, and it actually has a drill setting right here. They actually got another detachable head on it for an actual I'm drawing a blank here. Impact drill is what I'm looking for. They got another head for impact drill. I think they got another detachable that you can air up your tires and all kind of stuff. 20 volt lithium ion battery in there. It's pretty cool. I like it. So I'm going to be taking these out that came with my jig set. These screws right here. I got plenty of them in there. All the blue that you see is what they are. So I'm going to be doing those first, and then I'm going to get this top off for you guys. All right, so now that I've done most of the hard part, I removed the majority of the hardware that's going to be required to do the sanding. I'm going to go ahead and get to that and get this thing a charge, because I know it's going to need a charge. So I'll be getting back with you guys then. All right, fam. So I do have the box sanded for the purposes that I'm going to do with it anyway. I mean, it's only going to be carpeted, so I didn't go crazy with perfection and trying to get this thing seamless or anything like that. I simply wanted to make the corners round enough so when the carpet covers it, it will look pretty nice. It won't have sharp corners on it that punches holes or indentions in walls if it simply bumps it or something like that. But just have that smooth, nice round edge to it. As you can see, that ain't perfect worth a damn. Actually, I jacked my port up. Actually, like I was saying, I actually jacked my port up. As you guys can see right here in this corner, where that side and the top meets right there, This is not perfect at all. I mean, I jacked that up something royally, man. Well, sometimes you can do that if you get disoriented with how your router is riding that edge. It will bite into the port walls. And I did that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did it like 2 or 3 times. I couldn't believe it. I think I was just rushing, fresh off of work, trying to get something done. I think that's pretty much what that was. But for the most part, it came out pretty much like I wanted it. Like I said, I just wanted it, the corners and stuff, round enough on it so that when you do carpet it, you know, it'll be nice. And this was perfectly rounded over until I went over with the sander and pretty much jagged it up. But like I said, I'm not going for perfection. This is going to be covered with carpet. So, I mean, why go all out with a sander, right? Doesn't make any sense. But I do have some upcoming projects where I am going to be going more for cosmetics as far as finishing. And I'm going to be letting you guys see that. But for right now, this is it, and this is it for the step of this process. Next, I will be carpeting it and giving you guys a demo at the end of the video. All right, so before I get to the gluing and the carpeting and all that stuff, what I did want to do is pop the lid on this thing and see how much dust I have accumulated on the inside from all that sanding. And I wanted to kind of like get the lid popped with you guys, kind of like coming along with me. So let's lift the lid and see how much dust I have to clean up from the inside of this thing. So let me get this off right here. There we go. And there we go. Not much damage at all. It accumulated in the corner here, but none of it actually turned this corner. And this is the 30 hertz port. None of it actually turned the corner. So I guess I got away pretty lucky with that one. So let's go over here and look down in this. Look down in this port. Seemed like the same thing went on. Not much even got off into here. I see I do have a few specks on the walls. A quick vacuum. Oh, now I see it. Yeah. A lot of it actually got in on the face of it. Yeah. That's it. And there she is, guys. That's the VVX12 I've been telling you guys about. So that is what's housed in, I mean, this enclosure, this is what this enclosure is housing. Is that little beefy 12 right there. So I also see right here one of my screws. Was that a staple? That's actually a staple. I need to fill this gap with the surround. And if you guys are wondering what this material is right here, it actually is just the floor mat. I took a few of them, trimmed them, cut them up into strips, and that's what I got sealing off my chambers from one another. So that's what she looked like. In case I didn't give you guys a proper introduction to the 6-order, this is what's on the inside of it. It is wired in parallel down to 2 ohms. This thing is rated at 600 watts RMS. But anyone who knows Skar know that they rate their drivers very conservatively. I mean, anyone who knows audio can look at this thing and tell it's much more than a 600 watt driver, RMS. You understand? So there's videos of guys putting 1,000 watts or more on these things and pounding them all day, and they do just fine. And this is a 3-stack magnet right here. If you guys haven't seen the unboxing of this driver right here, just go back and look at my collection. And one of those videos is an unboxing of this driver right here. So go check that out. This padding right here is not acoustofoam or anything of that nature. Actually, what happened was I had one of those box mattresses that you can get these days. You get them and they compress. They're compressed down very tightly, but when you unpack them, they kind of expand or whatever. I had one. I'm not going to name the company that I had, and what I did was I took it. I bought another one. I bought a second one, ripped the other one down in half, and gave it to my daughters actually, and made them a mattress out of it. I got rid of their box spring and put them a mattress in there. And this is some remnants of that mattress. And as you can see, it actually has a top layer on top of this, which is that piece right there for breathability. And this is pretty much what you're working with. This here is pretty spongy stuff. And this one right here is the support foam. It's kind of bouncy, very bouncy stuff. But this right here is what I was impressed with. I said, I kind of like that. So that's what I put inside of the box for dampening. And does pretty damn good. To be honest with you, I want you guys' opinion on this. To be honest with you, once I put this in the box, it wasn't as loud as it was at first. But what happened was the bass became a softer, more rumbly bass. It's like that low in your gut feeling bass that I was able to achieve when doing that. Whereas without this in here, it's loud, like very loud. And when I say loud, I'm not talking loud in terms of being able to hit higher notes. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the pronounced. It seems as though it lost, in my opinion, it lost a few dBs when I put this stuff in there. But the quality was more enhanced. Like it had a more bassy feel, if that even makes sense to anyone. you know. But I don't know. What are you guys' opinion on that? Do this like hurt the quality in your opinion, or do it enhance it in some type of way? And have you ever had or experienced what I'm talking about now, as far as it being louder without this and a little bit lower, not as loud, but a softer, more bassy quality, if that even is a word. But for right now, I feel like I'm rambling. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys one last shot of it. That's the booty on her, and that's it. It's enough for that.